Alright, so are we recording?
We are.
We are on camera. So everything we must do must be perfect. Must be. Alright, well, right now we are working on the King Toad. I have pretty much finished up with the shroud and the lower hose, which was the most complicated, at least I think, at the moment. The most complicated. And we still got to do the upper hose yet, but we're moving to the running boards currently. So, to figure out how we're going to do the running board, we have several conflicts. One being the door. And the reason I'm doing the run board because we're doing side pipes. And in order for them not to remove skin from our legs when we get in and out of the car, because there will be no hopping over the top of the pipes. We can remove, that's the pipe. We got to do some kind of a running board here. And of course it will be, pipe will have some kind of insulation on it to help it. Otherwise, it would just conduct the heat to the running board, and the running board would take our skin off. So, currently, I don't know how I want to make the running boards. I don't know what shape. I don't know. I just know they're going to be there outside the door. So what we're doing is we've got the CAD device out, and or the CAD, the CCAD, conceptual cardboard data device, because this is also going to be how we make the look. So, and I don't know how the look is, but a lot of times the look will come. And the final look might not even be the start of the look. Or we'll build it and decide we want to do something later on, then that'll change. But currently, when I do the running boards, typically what we do would be a straight edge, so that's what we're going to do first. We're going to put a straight edge on it. And I get my co-builder to help me here. Get her hands off the camera, and she can help me. First is a straight edge for the first mark. So I want to take that up to the front fender, honey. Okay. That end. Okay. So lay it down on the cardboard. Well, approximately, yeah. This is just a guesstimation here. Alright. Oops, my cardboard. Why did it come out?
I don't know. She moved me.
What'd you do?
Okay.
Well, let's see that. Okay. There's concept one.
You got that? Whoa.
Huh? What?
You almost kissed me with that straight edge.
Pushed you?
Kissed me.
Oh,
You
kissed you?
flipped it up.
I'm all the way over here. How can I kiss you? Yeah. Oh, pushed you with it? Or whacked you with it?
It came up real
Right in front
close
of
to
your
my
face?
face. I didn't see stars, so we're good.
Well, good. I didn't hit you, did I?
No.
Oh,
No.
because I'd have felt bad if I hit you. So, that's first glance of what, if it was running board and lined up with the front fenders, what we'd be looking at. That would be the outside profile. It'd be visually a little narrower because you'd have a rolled edge on it coming down. And sometimes, well, understand too, these fenders are much wider than a regular Model A fender are. Fenders are the rear much wider. So that puts a pretty good wing out there, which I don't think that's would look okay. We do have, huh? Okay. Well, you can say something.
No, I was just laughing. Pretty
Okay.
good wing.
Yeah, I mean, chitty chitty bang bang,
Mm-hmm.
a flying car.
Yeah, it's gonna fly.
So, what I could also do would be straighten up that edge, would help. So, we might do that. Right now, I think visually the cardboard makes it look mucho grande or larger.
What are we doing?
Because I'm gonna bend this edge, I don't want to cut the whole thing.
Oh, for the roll?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I gotta guesstimate what my roll will be. What do you keep doing with my tape measure?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my fault.
Where'd you go with my tape measure?
It's probably underneath the cardboard. Oh, it's there. Okay.
Alright, so right now we'll do 3-inch. We'll say we'll have probably a 3-inch roll, which actually with the radius, yeah.
4 inches.
Yeah, I'll probably do 4. So I gotta make the cardboard big again. I have to tape something over there. You wanna mark that? Is that
Inside or outside? Inside?
Yeah,
Are you on your mark?
yeah. Close enough. Okay. So, I'll go ahead and cut that down there. put the what on here? So it's helpful cheap. Okay. All right. Well. It doesn't look as big. But I think it's still too big. So, next is what do we take off of? I don't know. Well, you know, I thought about doing a point on the fender. Have the back of the front fenders come to a point. Kind of like how I shrouded the headlight down. If that was the case, then we'd run a straight line probably from this back edge, maybe to the point.
You're talking about making a point here?
Yeah, the front
Oh,
fender.
I thought you were doing it, you were talking about.
Well, we can do one there too. I mean, it could be.
I like this. I like this looking like that.
Looking like this one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want a point there.
I'm with you. Well, again, I said we thought about that.
The front, yes, but not the back.
Well, I guess I was just me thinking about the back.
Maybe.
It was my own little noggin. Silly me.
Well, I mean, you can do what you want to do, babe.
No. That was not what I'm just saying. That's where we could run the edge basically to the point if there was a point, but it's not. So now I don't know if it really matters if it's a point or not. We could also keep it like we tried to keep the exhaust with the side of the car.
Yeah.
We could do something similar.
Yeah.
I'm looking, if you come stand back here, I like maybe the inside edge of the fender. So to give you an idea of what that would look like. I can't lay anything too heavy on there.
The little, it must be on the table, the 2 foot straight edge.
So it'd be something like that. No, actually, something like that. Using the left edge as the edge of the board, where understanding it rounds down, so the lip.
Yeah.
You have to, well, I mean,
I'm looking at this angle with the exhaust,
I'm with you.
which still gives that a little more.
Well, when you do your angle though, remember we have a crook here and it has to be over it. So our pipe is like, well, our pipe is right here. So this, when you're looking at it, look at your edge where the pipe is. 2 is probably out of here more than I have enough to cut it back at the end.
Are you gonna encapsulate the exhaust here like you've got the cardboard cut out?
Well, that's how I thought about going around it. I don't know about, I'm not gonna go. I was gonna leave this open. See, that's why I'm doing this,
Yeah,
because I don't know how far forward we wanna go,
right.
because we might not go that far forward. I don't know, just so we can take a look at it. So trim this. I mean, the point of the cardboard is to try to get it closest to the what we think.
What you think you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you go
Cutting
cutting all the steel, yeah.
Well, we still got a wrestling match there, so. I'm almost.
Almost what?
Think about, we would maybe try to, some thinkers used to do some metal bending, but I don't know if they still do or not.
Yeah, you'd have to call them.
But trying to find somewhere that would have a machine that could do a bend radius for us. I mean, all I need two. It'd be worth it.
Not having to try and do it yourself.
Yeah. Because all I can think, I remember us doing it on Pontiac, and it was difficult. Dad and I had a couple ideas trying to do it. And we eventually did, but it weren't that good.
Did you even look at the fenders that we have that we might be able to use as running boards?
Well, we can use them as running boards. 1 to 10 would be too thin.
Well,
It's-
okay.
I mean, it is the outside edge radius, but I'd have to cut and then put those pieces on.
Yeah.
So, plus they're not straight.
No.
They're not a straight. They're
No.
they're the front of the fender. I mean,
Yeah.
so. Okay. So what we've been deciding is trying to see what lines the body is showing us, and looking at it from this perspective, what you would see it from the front as the car's coming to you. The side sight line is going to look like a running board. The only thing that might catch your eye on the side will be how you begin the running board. From the rear, you see the body and the body contour and how the header goes around that 2.5 inch mark, which is the inner mark, I think. And to understand too, those lines would be the top of the roll. So you'll have another inch-ish, 3/4 of an inch, depending on the radius of the roll of the running board going over, which we've yet to determine how we're going to do that. So, I think it needs to be kind of. Pretty quick and rough, crude cardboard, but that pucker there ain't no pucker. Also, the next step is, of course, how does it start off? Always, cars that have these independent fenders, and they do running boards on them, they look like a side step on a four-wheel drive. I mean, and we're not making a rock slider, so we're making a don't lose the skin on the back of our calf protector. So the next is, how do we start off? Now I could do something similar to what we did on getting the width, which was using the spacing, which usually is not a bad place to start, is use some of your existing spacing. And it seems like when you keep stacking those spacings symmetrically, that it gives you something, a point to start with. So we're 2.5 inches from the inside to the cowl, we're 2.5 inches outside to our roll. Now, either be 2.5 inches back from our edge or 2.5 inches from the exhaust forward. And then how are we going to come around? Right now, because a lot of our stuff, like basically the ducktails, if you want to call them, on the fenders, the way they come back and kind of flip, we could do something similar to the front. In other words, not a flip so much as the shape. In other words, it would round off. Almost like the fender radius would make a 90 or a 75 or what have you into the car. Or it could be a 90. It just means that this corner, because if we go 90 off the edge of the running board, will be forward of when it meets the cowl. And that's why I was kind of kicking back. You said you wanted to come up to the front of the cowl. I kicked around, maybe starting behind the bend of the exhaust. So it would be the exhaust bend forward. I like going around doing the cardboard. I like going around it better
Yeah.
than what we currently have. And while folding and making the skin that goes over the top of it is critical, the real tricks will be underneath it to sport it, because they got to be tough enough to take our weight of standing on someone getting out of the car.
There's no standing, it's crawling.
Correct. But I mean, somebody's come up the car and stand on the running boards. You don't want the running boards just to go in a pile, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the moment, what I'm thinking is, because that'll be underneath, is a little design.
Can't get through there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also what, once I know how much metal I need, I can cut that thing down and we can get it out of our way.
I was just trying to see how far the cardboard comes forward. It comes to this band.
Yeah, well, this is just where the cardboard folded to. I kind of envision that we would, for the purposes of starting out, it would come, I'd put the cardboard as far forward as needed to be. Because then we
So
can
it
mark
has-
it.
it has a
We can mark it and cut it to where we want.
spot to hang off of the pipe.
So if it comes forward to pipe, yes, I need more room. I need as much room as we can get to have the brackets to hold it.
Well, if you start it behind the exhaust, what is that front edge gonna look like? That's what's throwing me.
What edge? Oh,
If you don't start it until behind the exhaust, what is that gonna look like?
well, I mean, it would look like a rounded nose, possibly. It would look like the bull nose of a corner tile or
So it
something.
would just be like a fan.
Be like a little bump here and then it goes in. But I've kind of nixed that doing this.
Oh, okay.
Unless that's something you think you'd like.
I'm just trying to envision what you're talking about. So to me, it would look like a couple of fangs rolled on either side of the exhaust pipe would be what you would see on the front,
Well, this rolled edge here
rather than,
would turn and stop, then it has to notch
right,
over the top,
So-
and then it has to be a little piece here.
right. So it would look like a couple of fangs,
You would see
rolled fangs.
you would see the bottom edge, or we cut the edge as deep as the pipe. So when you look at the pipe, it all is all one level. You wouldn't have two mud flap looking things hanging down like this.
Oh,
You'd want to trim it. I mean,
okay.
so it would look. However, a bracket has to go in there,
Yeah.
and the bracket can't go on top, it has to go underneath the pipe.
Mhm.
The pipe is basically going to be channeled into the supports. That's why also the running board will need to be removable. Which is why when we did the fenders mount, I did this strap piece back here with the heavy gauge that bolts in. Because on a car, that's how it would be anyway. The running board would terminate into the back fender like this, and there was a support there that holds both the fender and the running board. They both gain their strength from the same bracket. Just like this one does.
Don't back up any further, you're gonna knock the camera over.
Okay. Oh, I get it. So. As far as visual goes, I can add a piece to the front.
You're gonna have a harder time putting a curve on that than if it's a blunt straight across. This angle, the front edge is, I don't know.
Oh no, you're right. It's not easy, but it's certainly doable. I mean, even if you had to put wedges in there, make steel wedges and weld them and then grind it. And
Gotcha.
it just, and it also depends on the radius, you know. Yeah, like say, like something like this. You would cut, especially if you had a steel pipe like this size, you could cut a wedge
I know
out of it.
somebody that's got a steel pipe that size.
You can cut a wedge out of it when you make the bends and then weld it in there and then just grind it. So, but it all depends on what radius you want. Depends on what design you want to. So that's 2.5 coming off the edge of the cowl, this lip here, where that transition is. I think it's kind of blocky. I think swoopy from the front edge.
Our pipe bender, if we use that 1.5, I think it's 1.5 inch pipe. If we bent it for our front corner and then cut it in half. You have one for one side, one for the other. would give you that curve. You wouldn't have to take the metal to get it bent somewhere, but it's welding, all of that.
Well, not
Keep
only that, but
flat.
if you wanna lift beyond the 1.5 inches, because understand, if we do 1.5 inches and we got a space above the exhaust pipe, that the exhaust 2 inches deep would be lower than the edge of the running board. Probably by about half of it, because, or I shouldn't say half, maybe 3/4 or so, depending on how high above the pipe we are. Now, if you use a bigger pipe, if you use like a, let's say a 2-inch pipe, you may only be above it by a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Let's see.
What? Oh, stop it.
That wouldn't be a bad radius right there.
Well, isn't that same size as the pipe that we have?
This? I don't know.
Okay.
We have several different pipes.
Well,
We have this pipe,
I was just talking about
this pipe is that pipe.
a big stick. What I was talking about.
Well, here's the trick. If you wanted it to be this radius, you'd have to use something like this. And if you want it
Yeah.
to be that radius, you'd have to use something like this.
Right.
So in the old noggin, I'm just trying to think of a metal brake that we could do. My only thing with it would be whether or not it would be strong enough to do what we need to do. Because this is part of, like,
Wow.
how long is, well, of course, this length that I did for the full length of the fender. So we don't necessarily have to do this whole 64 inches in one shot, provided we can duplicate the bend. The reason you try to do something this long is when you do the bend in it, the bend for that running board would be the same when we make the turn.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, was using the pipe bender to make the,
Yeah, I know the pipe thing.
okay,
I know the pipe thing you're talking about. But you're talking about splitting the pipe and welding the pipe to the sheet and then,
mhm,
yeah, I'm with you. That's
Okay.
something we've done before.
yes. So, what is your idea?
Are you talking about welding the pipe to the sheet and then bending it over the pipe? Or cutting, slicing the pipe and welding it
Yes.
to the sheet?
Correct.
Okay. Well, my idea is to
'Cause
take,
that's like, that's way thicker than the 16 gauge, that pipe,
oh yeah,
yeah. So it would be hefty.
yeah, it's hefty. But it's just two welds,
Mm-hmm.
basically
Well, I'm trying to
64.
figure out how you're gonna.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
I see a torch and,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, 16 is more thicker than 18.
Mhm.
But it's not as thick as 14.
Okay. I still,
Well, here's my idea.
okay, lay it on me.
All right, we take a piece of pipe, right?
That piece of pipe, yeah.
And we take a piece of some angle, like maybe what we got on the trailers out there, right?
Okay.
The L angles. We take and yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I can probably draw it better than I could probably say it.
Well, I think I can see what you're talking about so far.
Okay. Well, we got to break the radius. The radius has to be on the break crate. So we have an L here, and then we have an L here. Okay. What I would propose to do would be, how would that work? Would be, okay. Anyway, so here's the pipe. And this, the metal would come down in here. Right? Or no? Yes. I don't know, I might have to do it. Anyway, so I find another pipe that of course would go inside of here. And then I make a arm that would attach to this piece angle. This arm would pivot and come around and smush it down. However, this needs to be closer to there. So I would have to maybe move the angle up. Alright? It would need to be here. And then the arm would need to be like this, maybe. I might have to try to probably try and do a line. Basically want this line on the pipe.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to clamp.
It's alright. Kind of put the metal on the middle of the pipe, or the pipe on the middle of the metal on the other, for the line. I mean,
Well, it doesn't look right.
pipe. Put in the pipe on top. Like we were going to use the brake. Brake either way. And we won't get a full bend. If we did get a bend, I don't know if it'll be a full bend. Honestly, way pull the metal out. Same thing, we gotta kind of guess where that fine is, and then push that underneath there. Get it going underneath the lid. So what I got is, this is halfway on the pipe. I can center, top center, and then I can see my line out front, like kind of like that.
Optical or not, but it looks like my pipe is back further than
Let
yours.
me kind of get a little bit of pressure on that one. We can do some tapping.
I think it's out of well, here's yours as well. Like I said, it can be optical. I think it's now.
It should be that quicker. Not that it won't come out, I'm just saying it should take it across the board. You know it's not it's that thing. So the pressure. Watch you when you're pull down. Yeah, let it go. Well, it didn't pop out.
I don't know what happened, but
I don't either.
the clamp went flying.
I must say this top must have moved a little bit.
I could hear something.
Then it shifted, yeah.
Oh, the pipes out here?
Yeah, the pipe went out the back.
I totally missed that.
Oh, you got the camera rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm doing now is we're doing the running board brackets. We got the back one that's already on for the fender. It's a fender support running board. And now I'm doing these two center ones. One is right on a support beam. And this next one will be right on a post. Also, I'm gonna weld to the outside of this, but it's not body 10. It's actually 16 gauge welded down into a crook, and then it's welded to the post. So we'll have two supports here for the running boards. These will go up underneath off the brackets I made, like this. 3, and then the one goes in the front. And I haven't made it yet. It will be a little different than these two. I ordered to space my plate, make sure it bolts up, make this little affair with these flange nuts. Everything?
Ta-da!
Not sure how that cardboard's gonna stand up to rain and all that. If this was a really good cardboard start.
Okay.
So this is our final, what we feel we're going to do the running board. And I've got these braces in here that we just tacked in. There's space around underneath and on the sides with a small, probably about 1/8 on the top here. Should be enough room for the insulation. So this goes up here like this, and I got to do one more bracket. And that bracket's going to come off of this right here, and that 16 gauge steel. But unlike the other ones, this one will probably nut backwards. I'll do 2/3 mounts points this way, because I don't want it to be directly out on the flange here. And this is probably a little deeper than what we're going to do, but we'll see. It goes like that. I got my measurement of like 10 1/4. Should go ahead and double check that. We're in here. Thank you. Yeah. 10 1/4 will get us in the ballpark. You want to get me hot there. As she feels.
You're already hot, baby.
I'm not as hot as you.
Down here.
Well,
Sick. Yeah, hold on.
Am I not tight there?
It needs to come back. Right there.
Okay, let me have it for a second. In?
That corner's tight, this one is
Well,
not.
that's fine. That never was tight.
Okay.
Feels like you were never tight against here. Now that I got it back far enough, I need to hit this corner. Of course, that's way more of an angle than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But that's all in cardboard, so I'd really be off. Now I need the straight edge again, babe. Make sure we didn't twist off. Check the outside. That still looks pretty good. Check the inside. Now the reason I know we should be here because I went this way, this is these. So these should travel on and should be within the ballpark. So let me do another little bit more tacking on this. All right. Voila. All right. So I got the driver's side brackets off. So I got these brackets now. They bolt to the side. Just like that. And then back one on the finger. But see where I ran long here. I'm not going to dress that off yet. This comes down below the bottom of the car. If I I feel it's needed, I can put a cantilever piece up underneath the car. And so it would put pressure on the bottom of the floor, so when you stomp on the outside of the bracket, it would hit the floor of the car and give it some more strength. These seem to be fairly tough. It's 1/4 inch by 3, and they're pretty stout. I will knock some edges off of it so they won't handle you, and then we'll do a finish clean when we're farther down the road with the running board. Otherwise, because if it's going to change again, I'm going to do something else to it. There's no sense of trying to dress them now when I may have to change them again later. So that's where I'm at. Also, these come out to the end of the running board, so eventually these ends will get rounded. Ends will get rounded for the running board to run down it. These brackets don't connect to the running board. Or I should say, they don't get welded to the running board. They will get bolted to the running board. So you can take the running board off. The running board coming down over the top of the exhaust pipe is basically caged in here. Insulation will go around it, but it's caged in here. So we get as much ground clearance as we can. Especially in the center of the car is probably the most critical spot of clearance, because anytime you go over the hump gets closer to the center car, typically not where the wheels are. So you want to make sure all the stuff in the middle of the car especially is tucked up. And these should be fairly close to the bottom of the car. So I think the only thing lower than this is probably the very bottom of the transmission valve. Might be one of these right here. We still have pretty good clearance. So I'm doing these today, and like I said, I'll probably break these edges and stuff so they ain't so sharp. I do need to do a slight trim here on both these right now. So I think I'll just grind those down to flat wheel. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. Next video will probably show you a little bit more of where we're at with the running boards. I think I am going to have to heat, this is one of the running boards right here. I think I am going to have to heat this in order to control it. So, we'll see. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet. Alright, well, remember what I say. Don't do what I do. You do you. Go out in the garage and have fun. Do something. Build something. And God bless and toad out.